Hi, my name's Alan Smith, and in this webcast, I'll show you how you can use Azure Front Door to provide global availability for websites. Azure Front Door enables you to deploy your web application to multiple Azure regions, and then provide a single point of access to those websites. For a user in Sweden, West Europe will be the closest Azure region, so Azure Front Door will automatically route traffic to the West Europe region. However, if there's a major outage in the West Europe region and the website isn't available there, Front Door will automatically route the traffic to the East US region. And if that fails, the traffic will be routed to the East Asia region. When the other regions come online, traffic will be routed back to the West Europe region. And in this webcast, I'm going to implement and demonstrate that scenario. So in the Azure portal, the first thing I'm going to do is to create a resource group. And I'll use this resource group as a container for the resources in this demo. I'll drop this in the Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. I'll name the resource group Front Door Demo, and I'll host it in the West Europe region. So let's create that, and then browse to the resource group. Within the resource group, I'm going to create 3 web apps. The first one I'll call Front Door West Europe. Set .NET 4.7 as a runtime stack, and the location as West Europe. I'll create a new app service plan for this website, which I'll also call Front Door West Europe. And I'll set the pricing tier for the app service plan to free. In the monitoring section, I'm going to disable application insights. We don't need this for the demo. And with that done, I can create that web app. So I'll create a second web app, and I'll call this one Front Door East Asia. And I'll set the region to East Asia. Again, I'm going to create a new app service plan, set the pricing tier to free, and disable application insights. So let's create a third web app. This one I'll call Front Door East US. And we'll drop that in the East US data center. Again, I'll need an app service plan for that. And I'll set this with the same settings, the free tier, and disable application insights. So I've now got 3 web apps hosted in 3 different app service plans in 3 different regions. Let's create a web application that we can deploy to these 3 web apps. So in Visual Studio, I'll create a new ASP.NET web application on the .NET framework. I'll call this Front Door Demo, and I'll create it using the Web Forms template, something nice and simple to work with. In the default page, I'll change the heading to Front Door West Europe, and I'll press 5 to run the application in the debugger. So the title will be clearly visible, and I'll set the appropriate regions for the appropriate websites. And I'll do this for all of the websites, so it will be clearly visible which region we're accessing. So let's go to the Front Door West Europe web app. I'll download the publishing profile, and use that publishing profile to publish the project from Visual Studio. And then we've got Front Door West Europe, hosted in the West Europe region. Back to Visual Studio, I'll change the title of the website to East Asia, download the East Asia publishing profile, and publish the website to that region. And now we have the version hosted in East Asia. Back to Visual Studio, we'll change the title to Front Door East US, browse to the East US web app, download the publishing profile, and publish this version of the site to the East US region. So now we've got this website deployed to 3 different regions. Let's use Front Door to turn this into a globally distributed application. So in the resource group, I'll add an Azure Front Door. Clicking on Create, we can see the options. There's not much to set in the Basics tab, but going to the Configuration, we've got to configure the front-end domains, the back-end pools, and the routing rules. So let's start with the front-end domain. I'll try Front Door Demo. This name needs to be globally unique, and we can see that that's already been taken. So I'll use Alan Front Door Demo, which is available. So I'll add the front-end host. We'll create a new back-end pool. I'll call that Global Web, and we'll drop on a back-end. The back-end host type is going to be App Service. And I'll select the Front Door East Asia website. I'm going to change the weight from 50 to 33, because we're going to be using backends in 3 different regions. And this will influence the load distribution across the 3 websites. I could leave them all set to 50, which would still give me an even distribution, but I kind of like it when the 3 numbers add up to 100. So I'll click Add to add that backend. Let's add the second site. I'll select App Service as the backend host type. We'll take the Front Door East US website and set the weight to 33%. And for the third one, I'll select Front Door West Europe and set the weight to 34. So we've configured a backend pool with the 3 different backend websites in the 3 different Azure regions. In the Health Probe section, I'll change the probing interval from 30 seconds to 5 seconds, which should mean that it will be quicker to detect any issues with the website availability in any of the regions. So with that set, I'm going to click on Add. In the backend rules, I'll add a rule called Default Rule, which will route all of the traffic to the Global Web backend pool. And I'll add that rule. So with the configuration set, I can click Review and Create, and then click Create to create the front door. So now it's created, I can click on the link to go to the resource, and click the URL for the front-end host. And you can see at alanfrontdoordemo.azurefd.net, we've been routed to the Front Door East US website. If I click on Refresh, we've now been routed to the Front Door West Europe website. I'm based in Stockholm, so this is the website that's located in the region closest to me. So let's see what happens if we shut down the website in that region. I'll browse to the Front Door West Europe web app, click on Stop, and click Yes to shut down the website. And if we go to frontdoorwesteurope.azurewebsites.net and click Refresh, we can see that the service is unavailable. Browsing back to the Front Door URL, clicking on Refresh, we can see that the service is unavailable. But after a few seconds, we're routed to the Front Door East US website. So let's go back to the portal, browse to Front Door East US, and stop that web app as well. If we refresh on the Front Door East US website, we can see that it's now unavailable. And refresh on the Front Door website, we get service unavailable, but after a few seconds, we're routed to Front Door East Asia. So Azure Front Door is ensuring that even if we get an outage in 2 of the regions hosting our website, the website will still be available in the 3rd region. So let's go back to the portal, start the East US website, browse to the West Europe website, and start that. We can see that the East US site is back online, the West Europe site is back online, and on the Front Door URL, we're still being routed to East Asia. But if I keep clicking on Refresh, you can see that we're now routed to East US, and now we're routed back to West Europe, which is the closest region to me hosting that website. My name's Alan Smith, and I work as a developer, trainer, mentor and evangelist for Active Solution in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm an Azure MVP, and I speak at many international conferences. I'm also involved in the organisation of the Cloud Burst Conference and the AI Burst Conference, hosted in Stockholm. I specialise in delivering classroom and on-site training in the Microsoft Azure and AI technologies. I also deliver remote training and mentoring. I host seminars and workshops for companies. I've authored a number of Pluralsight courses, and I also speak at conferences. If you're interested in any of the above, feel free to contact me on cloudcast.net@gmail.com.